Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and lovely and talented and dedicated members of Pure Motivation Fitness. We're going to be doing a few episodes in the next coming weeks. Today's episode of Pure Motivation TV is going to be on the 6 reasons fat loss does not occur. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to try to be as easy as possible, but most importantly, give you some tips that you can use today. So first reason, nutrition or lack of. So a lot of you guys are wanting to embark on a fitness journey. Either it's the first time, either you're trying to break a fitness plateau, or you're trying to take yourself from where you are to a more advanced level. Nutrition is going to be the first key. Why? Because it's the fuel that comes in our body. It doesn't matter if you have an amazing trainer, if you're doing a weight training program, CrossFit program, whether you're doing an Olympic weightlifting program, if you're not supplying your body with the proper fuel, you're not going to have the energy on the gym floor. What's going to end up happening is 2 things. 1, you'll end up being in a catabolic state. So catabolic is the opposite of anabolic. Instead of growing muscle tissue, you'll be decreasing muscle tissue. And 2, you're going to get frustrated because you're not going to have the energy. So for breaking it down, nutrition is the first and most important key aspect, okay? Second, we're not eating or exercising according to our unique body type. There's the ectomorphic, the mesomorphic, and the endomorphic build, otherwise known as the 3 somatotypes. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I ramble on forever and ever and ever about these 3 body types because it's the thing that I'm most passionate of. Why? Because if you look at all of us, and you look at your family, you look at your coworker right now next to you, we're all different. We all have different body types. We all have different metabolisms. Some of us are tall. Some of us are very lanky. Some of us, like myself, have long arms and fast metabolism. That's the ectomorphic body build, okay? Some of us are maybe a little bit shorter, stockier, can gain muscle very quickly, but they can also gain fat as well. That's the mesomorphic build. And then some of us have a tough time losing body fat because we have a slow metabolism. We can gain muscle, we can gain fat very easily, but we have a lot of strong torque. That's the endomorphic build. So it's key to know which ones they are and which ones you are. If you're not sure, you're looking at this video saying, well, how am I supposed to know? I'm watching your video. Very easily. Look at a few key things. If on a Friday, on a Saturday, and on a Sunday, you go to a few birthday parties or a wedding, and you eat a lot of excess carbs or carbohydrates, or you have excess alcohol, and on Monday morning, you've noticed, or even on Sunday morning, that you've put on some weight very easily, that's toward the mesomorphic or endomorphic build, because your metabolism is not as fast as the first one, and it can't digest those carbs. If you notice you're constantly hungry, or when you eat a big meal of carbohydrates, you're starving in a few hours, that's the first genetic type, the ectomorphic build. So when it comes to losing body fat, if someone is an ectomorph, they're the first genetic type, the taller, more linear type torso, the key for your training is muscle building, not losing body fat. Because if you're thinking of your body as a piece of art with clay, your muscles are going to be what's your actual clay. If you don't have a big, dense frame and you're trying to burn body fat, you're going to end up losing muscle tissue with some body fat. That's being catabolic. So for all those lean people that are ectomorphic, your goal is to build muscle mass. That's exactly what you hear, ladies. Build some muscle mass. Now, if you're a person in the middle that has either gained a few pounds, lost a few pounds, throughout your whole life you've noticed that you can never stay stable. You got to look at being a mix and having some weight training and some cardiovascular workouts together. If I had to put a basis of what's important, I'd put them at a 50-50 basis, where you got to make sure you're not doing too much exercise in weights and not doing too much cardio. If you're the third body type, which is the endomorphic metabolism, nothing's wrong with it. There's a lot of amazing Olympic athletes, a lot of NFL football players, there's hockey players that are endomorphic in body type. The one thing you got to realize is your metabolism works at a slower rate, meaning if you wake up and you miss breakfast, your blood sugar is going to drop. Your body's going to be going in a slow progression. The first meal you have will cause a big spike in blood sugar, making your body take that sugar, divert it, and store it into fat cells. Your training is going to have a big mixture of conditioning and weight training. So let's call it metabolic conditioning. Okay? The CrossFit training program is one of the most, I think, unique programs that could assist someone in that genetic type, because you want to have 3 modalities of exercise. You want to have your gymnastics, your metabolic conditioning, and your weight training. So that's your second point. Let's talk about the third point. You're not moving enough. So we all want to work out. We're sitting watching this video. We're saying, you know what? I want to learn body fat. I want to lose this right over here. But you're not doing any movement. If I'm going to take my pen here and explain to you how the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise affects your body, it's going to be very unique. And I'll show you how you can lose 1 pound of body fat per week through proper nutrition. So let's check it out. We're doing an hour of weight training. We're doing 1 hour of cardio, right? If you're doing a workout, doing squats, bent over rows, some push-ups, some shoulder presses, some tricep extensions, you're going to be doing a weight training workout. The average amount of calories between a high-intensity weight training workout is anywhere between 8 to 1,000 calories. Not bad, eh? If we can do that maybe 3-4 times a week, if we can watch what we're eating in the evening, you'll lose body fat. If you're going to be coming into the gym and you're going to be going on the treadmill, let's say, and you're going to be running at a pretty fast, intense rate, average calories, again, depending on the person's body, between 5, let's say, and 570 calories. Okay? Not bad. So why is there a big difference here? One, this is an exercise with using oxygen. Sorry, this is without oxygen, and this is with oxygen. So you have aerobic exercise and anaerobic exercise. So what does that mean? Well, when you're using anaerobic exercise, you're using more stored muscle, stored energy in your muscle, okay? Using your adenosine triphosphate, your creatine phosphagen systems, and you're not going to be relying on oxygen. Hence the fact when you're running on the treadmill for an hour or 45 minutes, your body's not going to be utilizing the stores in the muscle cells. It's more oxygen related. So even if you were to do a workout with a trainer, an hour of cardio, you're at 1570 calories per day. You're not going to lose a pound of fat. So we all know, based on science class, yes, we're going back to high school here, they talk about you got to burn 3,500 calories per day to lose 1 pound of fat. Okay, so how do we do that? Very simple. If you're looking at how our nutrition program works, and most nutrition programs around the world, how they work, we're creating a caloric deficit. So we use 3 simple variables. We use your BMR, your DAR, and your OAR. Okay? So this stands for basal metabolic rate, your daily activity rate, and your occupational activity rate. So let's explain what that means to you. Your basal metabolic rate, if you wake up in the morning and do nothing at all and sit on your couch or start texting all your friends in the morning, you will burn a certain amount of calories. Let's say, for an example, we have Joe. Joe's got 2 big biceps. He's pretty happy. Now, Joe's an ectomorph, okay, similar to myself. That means his basal metabolic rate will be higher. If we got Joe's cousin, who's Fred's a mesomorph, the number will be a little bit lower. And if we have another person who's an endomorphic person, the metabolism is slower. So when we're talking about body types, if you have a slow metabolism, you got to make sure you're burning a lot more calories for your workout. Let's say, for example, you have someone with a 1,500 calorie basal metabolic rate. They're going into the gym, they're doing a workout, they're going to burn 500 calories per day. Okay, let's say for an example, and then their occupational activity rate. Guy's a lawyer, he's sitting down all day, he's talking on the phone, not burning as many calories. So let's say we're going to add another 300. You do your math, you got 2,300 calories. This is known as your TCI, your total caloric intake. Okay? If you're looking at losing weight and you want to do it in a smart and effective way, you're going to drop off 500 calories per day. So we're looking at 1,800 calories. The next thing you're going to be doing is, if you're dropping down the amount of calories of 500 per day, if you're looking at 7 days in a week, and if you're looking at removing 500 calories per day, your magical number is 3,500 calories. Now, how do you do that? Well, if you're putting together a meal plan, and you have a breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner 1, and dinner 2, yes, I said dinner 1, dinner 2. It's a pretty crazy philosophy, but at Pure Motivation Fitness, we like to encourage people to eat 2 dinners every night. If you're giving your body the proper ratios of protein, carbohydrate, and fats at 1,800 calories, your body's not going to understand the difference. Your body knows that it needs a certain amount to look exactly the way it is, We're subtracting 500 per day. We're giving you 1,800. We're not starving you. We're giving you a bunch of meals. The end result is 1 pound of fat per week. Not bad, eh? All right, so let's talk about the next item on the list. You're not creating a caloric deficit. People want to lose weight, people want to gain weight, like myself, and people want to maintain weight, okay? There's no real scientific secret, or there's no real magical pill, or there's no specific workout that's going to make all this happen. It's based on the food coming in and coming out, okay, in terms of energy. So if this is the amount of calories you're burning, I'm going to fix this one. You will be in a weight gain scenario, 100%. If this is how many calories you're burning through your workouts and you're consuming this many calories, you will be in a maintenance stage. So typically when you work out with a trainer, you work out on your own, you get your results, you're comfortable with where you're at, you're in a maintenance stage after that. Then you can enjoy life. If you're burning calories and you're consuming this many, you're in a weight loss phase. So why does that happen? Well, your body's going to be getting a certain amount of calories that are expending, that are leaving the body through your workout. Hence the fact that if you're not moving, you're not going to get the results. You're putting in a certain amount of calories. Well, your body needs this remaining energy. Where's it going to get it from? That's right, the chicho, the stuff that's hanging on the side of your body. Okay, so that's very important to focus on that. Number 5. So number 5 talks about balancing blood sugars. Okay, what I mean by that is a typical day of eating should look something like this: breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner 1, dinner 2. Now, a lot of people watching again are going to say, what's wrong with this guy? He keeps saying dinner 1, dinner 2. Either you love me or you hate me. You probably love me because I'm going to give you 2 dinners every night. When you're looking at balancing blood sugar levels, which is the key foundation to anything in terms of weight loss or weight gain, you want to make sure that your body is not overproducing insulin, okay? Your body will produce insulin to pick up the glucose in your blood cells and actually use them or store them. So if we're looking at, one of my veins inside, we look at X, we're going to call X glucose. We're going to get your red blood cells. We've got your W, that's your white blood cells, okay? And then we're looking at your brain, your pancreas. So here's an example. A good balanced supply of blood sugar means that your body's going to have a leveled amount of energy throughout the day. If I give you a scenario of, let's call Joe again, wakes up for breakfast, misses breakfast, energy starts dropping, okay? Right away, his body goes, hey, metabolism, you got ecto, meso, endo. Well, you're already mesomorphic to begin with. Why don't we start slowing that metabolism down? So it starts dropping. Then he goes to a store and he gets a bagel with some butter and he gets a coffee, double-double. Wham! Blood sugar spikes up high. Well, your body has protective mechanisms to control that. Brain contacts the pancreas. Pancreas is going to produce insulin, okay? And as I've been saying for years and years, let's call them the insulin police. They're going to go into the bloodstream and they're going to automatically pick up glucose and they're going to remove it. Now, the key word here is divert. If it could burn the blood sugar right away, you wouldn't need me, you wouldn't need my lovely staff, you wouldn't need any of the trainers around the world. But it's going to divert it and it's going to put it somewhere. Well, in terms of energy systems, it's going to say muscle, liver, and fat. Going back to genetic type, okay, if the person is ectomorphic and they have a high metabolism, well, you're lucky because that excess sugar that just went high will be broken down and metabolized by this guy here. If not, and you have a slow metabolism, well, guess what? This much will be burned past the next guy. Your liver's got a lot of functions. It's not supposed to be holding body blood sugar and storing it. So the body's natural process is to push to the next guy. Guess what? Your fat is going to sit there and say, bring it on, baby, bring it on, let's store it. So automatically it diverts it. Your blood sugar drops. You feel that crash. It's 11:30, 12. You're at work. You're saying, wow, I'm really Tired. Why is this happening? Well, because you're not balancing blood sugars. So what's that's going to do to your next meal? Let's say you miss a meal. You come up, you go for lunch. You're really starving now. You spike up really high. Same thing happens again. Boom, you crash. You may or may have a snack here. You may get a chocolate, a coffee, something, a fruit to spike you up again, or you may not have anything and you come till dinner. Guess what? You go home, you get really, really, really hungry. So what happens? Same thing again. Blood sugar spikes. I don't care if it's a half cup of rice, if it's a cup of rice, or if it's a plate of rice. That half cup, because you have not balanced your blood sugar throughout the day, will cause a big spike. Spike goes up, you come down, you're hungry. People, or some of our clients often say, well, around this period of the day, I get cravings. Well, of course you're going to get cravings, man. You've been dropping your blood sugar here. You've been dropping blood sugar here. There's big instabilities. So your body is going to start firing your binge signals. Binge, that's right. People say, why am I binging? Why am I binging? Well, there's many reasons. There's emotional reasons, psychological reasons, but half of the time it's because you're not balancing your blood sugar. So when you're looking at this graph, this really, really nice graph that I drew, you're going to see these big spikes. Well, guess what? 1, 2, 3. Those are above that natural blood sugar response line. That's going to go into storage. If that happens on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, your body will automatically begin to calculate and store that information. If it happens from a young child through your teens, through your adulthood, well, guess what? You're teaching your body when you wake up, you want to store fat. So when a lot of people wake up in the morning, they say, I'm not really hungry, I don't feel to eat. It's because your metabolism is shut down. Your body has been trained to this, versus someone like myself that will wake up that wants a big starchy carb breakfast with some protein and with some fat. Okay? So that's how stabilizing blood sugar works. Now, the only thing to worry about is when people abuse their pancreas and abuse the body's production of insulin, and they don't really care, and they just eat, overeat, and they don't exercise, your body will begin to start having like a resistance level. So think of a small barrier. You're constantly producing insulin, your body starts becoming insulin insensitive, so it doesn't recognize it. Then you're left being type 2 diabetic. Okay, so now if you want to know about being type 2 diabetic, that's how it happens. Okay, type 1 diabetes is different. You can either go through gestational case where through pregnancy your hormonal level is up and down really, really high. You either gain a certain amount of weight really quickly from being a thin, petite person, or you're not balancing your blood sugar while you're pregnant. The body doesn't understand and starts attacking the pancreas. Hence the person becomes a type 1 diabetic. Okay, or you can get it from a young child. So that's how that works, balancing blood sugar. Last and most important part of this whole program is talking about being mentally prepared. Now, I'm going to show you something right now. It may scare you, it may motivate you. Ta-da! What's this? This is a model of 5 pounds of fat. Look at it. It's nasty. Nobody likes to have this. Yet, when the people come in my office and they look at this, it really attracts them and really stops them and makes them think, do I really want to do this? The whole point of me having this in my office is to remind clients that you're not trying to hire a trainer. You're not trying to enroll in a club and have to be somewhere or make an appointment and be on time or starting to eat healthy for a period of time. You need to be mentally prepared to burn body fat. It's a tissue, it's substance, okay? Just like you got wood, just like you got tape, you got body fat. It's inside your body. So being mentally prepared starts by having goals. Okay? When we're talking about goals, you got to look at being realistic goals, okay? And the first and easiest way to do so is by getting your calendar out, okay? Number 1, day 31, and start off small and just say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to pick 3 days per week. I'm going to go and work out here, here, and here. I'm going to work out here and plan it out a month in advance, a week in advance. And on that day, make sure nothing gets involved with stopping you from your workout. Because chances are, people, if you're looking to lose body fat or build muscle, you cannot achieve it just through diet alone. All these doctors, I'm not going to mention any names, that put you on these meal plans that make you starve and make you cut out carbohydrates, the craziest thing alive, and promise you results, is foolish, because you're going to get quick results, you're going to lose some weight, and half that weight is going to be fat and muscle, because carbohydrates contain water as well. You're not going to have the energy, your body's not going to be nourished properly, and then you crash and gain more after that. Okay? So being mentally prepared is probably one of the first aspects. Whenever I do seminars or I talk at schools, I tell people, what's the most important part about starting a fitness program? Is it the training? Is it nutrition? Or is it the mental aspect? And a lot of them say nutrition, a lot of them say training. No, it's a mental aspect. Tell someone your goal. Tell your family your goal. Tell people what you're trying to do. Let everyone else know what you're trying to do. Write your goals on paper. You will not be able to achieve your goals unless you can see them. Look at a certain amount of weight, get a body comp done, and put down every month you want to lose 3 pounds. Have it set up. Okay? That's it for us. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Body Fat because we do not want to see this guy again. Stay tuned for more exciting videos, and we look forward to seeing you again. PureMotivationFitness.ca. Take care.